Welcome to Amazing Business Radio with best-selling author and customer service and business expert, Shep Hyken. Shep will talk with some of the smartest thinkers in business to help make you more successful in your professional and personal life. This is Amazing Business Radio with Shep Hyken.
Hello, everybody. It's Shep Hyken here. We're back with another episode of Amazing Business Radio. Today, we're going to be talking with Alex Hadade, and Alex is the co-founder and CEO of Birdie.ai. Now, who's Birdie.ai? If you've been listening to the show, they are one of our sponsors, and I want to thank them for sponsoring our show. What they do is take customer experience to the next level, instantly uncovering, understanding, and quantifying friction that users experience and pain points that customers are going through. More about that at the break. And of course, we're going to be talking about Birdie and AI in general, and how I love this, that Alex is very a special person. He's from Brazil. He came here and he has a mission to help companies create better customer experiences. So yes, he's with Birdie, but he's going to be giving his thought leadership to all of us, and we're going to learn quite a bit. This guy is amazing. All right, before we get into the interview, a quick announcement. You've heard it before. If you've got an amazing story that you want to share with me, or you have a question about customer service experience, please reach out to me on any social channel. If it is a question, use the hashtag AskShep. I'll answer it there in the social channel on this show, or I'll answer it in my newsletter, the Shepherd Letter. And you can get the Shepherd Letter free of charge, delivered to your inbox every Wednesday morning by simply going to hyken.com, HYKEN.com, and subscribing. And while you're there, please get our latest and greatest research. We have new research every year that we do on how consumers love customer service, hate customer service, love AI, are uncomfortable with AI, or scared of AI, all the things that consumers go through and think about. So please go to the website and learn more about that. All right, it is time to get into our interview. Alex, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Shep, for having me. It's my pleasure.
Well, you have an incredible experience. I mean, your first job at age 12, I believe, working for your father in retail, and then becoming the top salesperson before you even left school at age 17, and moving around. But I'm excited to talk about really CX, customer experience, AI, artificial intelligence, the investment. We've got so much to talk about. First, is there anything you want to share with us about your background and a little bit about Birdie? I mean, you co-founded Birdie with two other executives. You started from scratch, and here you are. Tell us a little bit about what's going on over there.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 11 years old, Shep, I remember sending my first letter to the airline company complaining about the services. Their services. So
at age 11, you were smart enough to know what good and bad customer service was.
Yes,
you're my idol.
I'm a very picky. I'm a very picky consumer. So I demand every time that companies do treat me well, do respond to my queries, do build a great product. So I even do not need to call them or to talk to them. So I'm a very demanding consumer, and I think this is the reason I started Birdie almost 6 years ago, because I saw an opportunity to help companies really become customer-centric. They all say they are customer-centric, but as you know, that's not the truth. I mean, it's really hard to be a truly customer-centric company. It's so many touch points, so many data, private data, public data out there, so many channels, and all this qualitative data to put together and segment with quantitative data. So it's hard. So companies are facing a true challenging, and I'm on a mission. That's not a business for me. That's a mission to really help companies to understand deeply their users, their consumers, and respond to them properly. So respond to them building a better product and services.
Well, that's exactly what I've been doing my entire career. So you and I are in 100% alignment. I think you just made me think of something. And as I heard you say, most companies, they think they are customer focused, customer centric, whatever the words you want to use. I think what they are is, and why they think they are, is because they're using last year or 2 years or 3 years ago's examples and interactions they're having with their customers to determine today that they've met that criteria of being customer centric. Unfortunately, and by the way, this is the first time I've ever expressed this thought, so I hope it comes out the right way. I think, unfortunately, at the speed that things are changing with companies, and a few of them really do it right, they're setting the bar higher, which I've talked about before. But what's happening with the speed of change in technology and capability with generative AI, ChatGPT type technologies, and the way we can use, and I know we're going to get into how AI can actually almost be better than a survey in measuring customer satisfaction. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But I think what happens is they think they're there, but the reality is all they are is 2 or 3 years ago, exactly where they needed to be. Does that make sense? And am I on target?
Yeah, I think we are living in amazing times, Shep. So 2 or 3 years ago, with all this ChatGPT, always this AI boom, finally we saw the opportunity to use technology to solve this problem. Really. So because before that was kind of impossible. How can I process companies with millions of users and millions of user feedback per month? How can I process all this data? How can I leverage all this gold mine and use it to build a better product, to understand really what is dissatisfaction or satisfaction with my users? So with all this AI boom, I think there is a great opportunity for companies to really leverage all this data, but I think they are missing the point. The first thing that all these companies they are doing is to put out there a chatbot. And I mean, we are experiencing this. All these chatbots are frustrating. I mean, you ask a question and they're dumb. They do not respond to our questions. And every single of my friends and myself, the first thing that I do when I'm talking to a chatbot is write down agent, because I want to talk to someone who really can help me and answer what I'm asking. So they're missing the point with AI. So, okay, a lot of money put on chatbots. Chatbots reduce the cost, but increase churn and increase dissatisfaction. So
Not good. Not good.
not good at all.
Yeah. I think that some companies do get it right, and the chatbot is only as good as what you put into it. And if you're using a chatbot from 3 or 4 years ago, you are nowhere close to what's capable today. And by the way, I bet the cost of that chatbot was far more expensive a few years ago than the way it's done today, and can be done right at a fraction of the cost. I mentioned this on many of my interviews that I used to go to the IBM conferences for the Watson AI, artificial intelligence. And back then it was amazing what I was seeing, but it was costing hundreds of thousands, if not even millions, for companies to implement. Now it's hundreds, not hundreds of thousands, just hundreds. And that may be the annual licensing fee.
And it's going to be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
Exactly. And so to get it done right, the issue I think companies are having, and I'd love for you to address this, is that we already have a technology. Now we have to take it out and put something new in. Well, yeah, you probably do. Yes?
Yes. The problem there, Shep, is that there are so many data points that have to be connected to serve their customers well, that really hard to do. It's not just a chatbot and an API to ChatGPT to answer questions, because this is vague. I mean, you've got to connect internally your product analytics, like understanding what is your user behavior. I mean, if someone is chatting with me, why they start a chat. I know that they were in that specific journey, like onboarding or trying to send the money via Zelle, and they were stuck. I have this information. So if I have this information, when they send a message to my chat bot, I should use this information to help them not be stuck at this specific journey.
Right. So the chatbot, yeah, needs to be smart enough to recognize who the customer is. It also needs to be smart enough to recognize the frustration of a customer and
Yes.
transfer them. And I know that you said the first thing you do is type in the word agent. I want to talk to an agent. I think if I've been to a company and had the experience that was bad, that's the first thing I would do.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would give the chatbot a chance to get it right the first time to see if this company, the first time I'm using that service, gets it right. And that's just me. Our consumer research that we do every year and our brand new report just came out recently for 2025 says that about, I think it's 50 or 51% have been given bad information from a chatbot. They know it. And by the way, another 50 some odd percent have said, I am more comfortable with chatbots this year than I was last year. So when you see they're recognizing the chatbots aren't perfect and companies are recognizing it. But I want to switch to a topic, and I know we're getting close to about the halfway mark of our interview. So I'm going to queue up this question, and then we're going to come back. And here is what it is. Essentially, you talk about the CX elevation imperative. Okay. I love that phrasing. We're going to learn more about what that is. But what you're saying is that AI shouldn't just answer questions. And by the way, many companies make the mistake of just using AI for the front-facing customer service. The analytics, which you've used that word already today, the analytics that you can glean from an AI looking at a customer's behavior, not a specific customer, but all customers. They all seem to be having trouble right here in this process of making a payment, say it is a Zelle payment or a PayPal payment or any other kind of, just as an example. Why is that happening? What can we do to fix that? Let's try and fix it. Let's have the bot keep analyzing it to see if we're reducing the issues. And that's where it gets so exciting when AI starts studying behavior, not just answering questions and dealing with complaints, because the goal would be for AI to eliminate those simple complaints from coming in. Let's take a quick break. So I'm queuing it up. And when we come back, I'm going to let you talk for the entire second half about this topic if you want to do that. We are talking with Alex Hadade, and he is the co-founder of Birdie. This is an exciting conversation about the way AI is changing the way we take care of our customers and eliminate complaints. Don't go away. We're coming right back. I'd like to take a moment to thank Birdie.ai for sponsoring our show and share a little bit about what they do. Birdie.ai turns customer feedback into actionable insights by consolidating that feedback from multiple sources into one AI-powered platform. With Birdie, you'll be able to uncover hidden patterns and trends and turn them into actionable insights to make smarter decisions about CX and product strategies. The result of all of this ties into three of the most important outcomes for any business. First is a reduction in customer churn. Second is improved NPS and customer satisfaction ratings. And third is boosting customer retention. Birdie.ai effectively empowers customer experience teams with superpowers that do all of that and more. Discover the power of Birdie. Visit Birdie.ai. That's BIRDIE.ai today. Birdie, where insights meet action.
You're listening to Amazing Business Radio with best-selling author and customer service and business expert, Shep Hyken.
We are back on Amazing Business Radio talking with Alex Hadade, the co-founder of Birdie. And this is what I love. Once again, during the break, he emphasized this. This is my passion. It's in my heart. It is my mission. And I love it because that's all about what I feel too. And I love when kindred spirits get together. But you also said, or doing something that I love the approach. Rather than complain about the companies that don't get it right, your mission is to help the companies to get it right so they don't have customers that are unhappy, that are posting negative reviews or saying things online about them. So, all right, we were on a track to talk about how AI tracks behavior. And let me set this up. If we send a survey out to customers, a percentage of those people will send the survey back, depending upon a number of factors: how soon it was sent, how short it is, how happy they were, or how completely dissatisfied. It's a small percentage. Uh, what AI does is almost, and I think it's still important to get those surveys, because especially we can get verbatim comments from customers about what they love or don't like about a company. But when we start tracking overall behavior of all customers, we see so much more, don't we?
Yes, I mean, when you connect the dots, like when you connect what they are saying with their behavior, understanding who they are my tier one client, tier two client, how much, how for how long they are partnering with me, how long they have been my customer, how much they spend with me. And if I understand how they behave and what they are saying, I can really understand deeply what I can do better as a company. I can really understand what product, how can I improve my product to fulfill their needs? How can I improve my service to fulfill their needs? So connecting the dots and correlating all this understanding with business metrics like churn, it's essential to make a great decision. And what CX leaders are missing is having all this data connected to make great decisions and to have a seat at the strategic table within the organizations. CX leaders, they need to not be seen as utilities or operational tasks as they are seen in most of the companies. They have now the opportunity to change it, and we are here to help them. Like we have to stop, CX leaders, they have to stop to talk about just support or operational metrics like first response time, first contact resolution, average handle time, or just in NPS or CSAT. Those are great. Okay, keep talking about that. But let's start talking about retention and churn metrics like customer churn rate, retention rate, customer lifetime value, product adoption and usage, time to first value. So they have so much information, so much data points, so much qualitative data that they can segment it with quantitative data and correlate with these business metrics that's mind-blowing, the opportunity that they have. So we need to change that.
And when you combine so much of what you just talked about, let's just take a look at those metrics like NPS. I'm a big fan of the Net Promoter Score. By the way, I often find that people use Net Promoter score to try to figure out how to fix what's wrong versus take advantage of the promoters who give you the high score and figure out what are you doing right that we can do more of. That's important. Same thing with the CSAT score, low CSAT, customer satisfaction score versus high. You start looking at average handle time. If it's for the wrong reason, you're getting agents that are trying to get off the phone as fast as possible because they're going to get in trouble if they stay on longer than they should. Totally wrong reason to do that. And with the other metrics, but it's the two that are most important to combine with your NPS and CSAT that give you a better picture of the overall view. The other metrics like average handle time, first call resolution, things like that, those are very important, but they're the second level of importance. Two metrics, churn and retention that you just mentioned. If you have a fairly high NPS score, but your churn is low, but what if it's the other way around? What if it's a average at best NPS score, but you have still high retention? Well, that's maybe because you have a sticky product. It's hard to get rid of. It's hard to make a change. So imagine if you were to increase the overall satisfaction of that customer and the churn was still low and the retention still high. Boy, that would make it that you become not just keeping customers, you would create loyal customers. You would create advocates that would refer to you and refer business to you. So
let me give you an example.
Yeah.
One of our customers, they are using Birdie to analyze churn, and they got to 90% faster churn analysis than they used to do manually.
90% faster
90,
because the AI can go in and just
yes,
so much quicker look at it. Yep.
and can correlate all this data. And they found 7 out of 10 churn drivers were discovered were invisible in standard reports. So 7 out of 10 churn drivers opportunities that they didn't see before, they didn't know before, they found on Birdie that they could act upon these opportunities, these drivers, change it, and with a potential to increase or to reduce their churn in 35%. So
Wow.
this is what they are doing with the data. So it's a great opportunity for CX leaders to use all the data and all these capabilities with AI to really sit and talk about strategic goals, not just operational goals.
Yeah, you can't do it with just surface research and surveys, and you've got to go deep, and Birdie allows that to happen. We're not close to run out of time, but I have a couple of questions that I thought were really, really important. And that is the RO. Well, you mentioned ROI as we talk about that, but specifically you have this concept, the investment outcome disconnect. There, I think. Well, go. I'll let you explain it. I've got it written down here, and I made some notes. But it's why NPS scores. I mean, and by NPS is a score, Net Promoter Score. Why Net Promoter Score, CSAT? It's important, but it doesn't drive necessarily the revenue outcomes that you hope for. You need more, and I know that's tying into what we just talked about.
Yeah, just see the numbers, Shep. CX are spending $7 billion, increasing their expenditure from $7 billion to $12 billion. I'm talking about 2023. They increased the expenditure from 7 to 12, and the NPS declined.
Yeah.
So, and it's still happening.
That's
so
the disconnect. It's
so
like,
it's
let's spend more money, but what's going down? So why is that happening?
because they are missing the point. They are not using technology in the right way. They are spending with just chat bots that do not work. They are analyzing just these metrics, operational metrics, and they are not going deep and understanding what are the reasons that my users are dissatisfied. What are the reasons that they are keep calling me? Why they are unsatisfied or dissatisfied with the product? So they are not working along with the product team, understanding what is happening, and then bridging this gap between CX and product. So they have the opportunity with the data, with this all qualitative data, segmenting this data, understand what are the root causes, really the root causes, and segmented by users, by journeys, and then talk to product teams, and then they can prioritize and change their roadmap based on these opportunities. So they keep spending money, CX teams, just on operational tasks and trying to reduce the contact rate, where they have the opportunity to understand the root causes and deliver a better product and increase the NPS, decrease the churn, and decrease the contact rate.
Yep.
That's my
Settle
point.
down. I can tell you're getting excited. I can see the animation. You're bouncing around. It's in your eyes. I wish everybody could see this. This is wonderful. Everything you're saying, I think, is 100% accurate. There's two sides of it. It's not just product usage. I think as you talk about it, it's also the process, the experience beyond the product that also needs to be measured and taken a very good look at. And I just want to emphasize, I believe if I never even said that, people would still get it. That's what you're talking about. But it is not just a product, it's the process. Like you said earlier, when somebody's having trouble making a payment, that's process. That has nothing to do with the product. Are you giving them the process? And are your processes and the way you measure customer satisfaction and experience up to date with today's 2025 standards, not 2023, not even 2024. That's how fast things are changing.
Yeah, and it's funny because every single company, they have the voice of the customer meeting, monthly meeting, where the CX leaders share with their peers what's going on. So that's increasing, that's decreasing, that's the NPS, blah, blah, blah. Everyone gets out of this meeting with no possibility to make a good strategic decision, because it's just showing high level metrics, or
Right.
metrics that don't drive good decisions.
Information is nothing without action.
Yes, what we are changing is that this voice of the customer meeting has to bring to all the other executives deep information, root causes that can drive strategic and smart decisions that will change the most important KPIs. That's when we connect the qualitative data, the user feedback, with the user behavior and the user identity. Then we can make great decisions.
And I'll add to that no meeting should end without at least one call to action. As a result of this meeting, a result of this information, what are we going to do?
This is a process. That's
Yep.
what companies need to do. They have to put in place this process and this commitment to go from this meeting with strategic decisions that will help their users be more satisfied, that will help to decrease the contact rate and decrease the churn.
Yep. Amen. All right. We're out of time, unfortunately. You and I could talk about this and be excited for a long, long time, but let's end it with my favorite final question, which is the one thing question. What one idea, thought, strategy, tactic, or any comment that you would like to make and leave with this audience today?
Yeah, as I told you, Shep, this is a mission for me. So it's in my heart. So I just wanted to share that I really want to help CX leaders to take the advantage of being at this time, this amazing time that we are living in, with all this AI boom, all these technologies that are allowing us to really do what we've been trying to do for our whole lives, which is understanding our users at scale and using all this technology, not just to put a chatbot, a stupid chatbot there, to really understand their users and to really understand what are the root causes that are causing any dissatisfaction. Let's do that movement and together deliver better products and service to the world.
I love it. I love it. Well, thanks so much. This is why we call this Amazing Business Radio. Thank you, Alex, for being on the show. And thank you for sponsoring our show. We appreciate that you've stepped up and been one of our partners, and really, really appreciate that opportunity to work with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shep, for being in this mission as well.
Thank you. All right, everybody, that wraps it up. Another episode of Amazing Business Radio. We will be back next week. And until that time, this is Shep Hyken reminding you to always be amazing.